This was me 3 years ago on controller. I had first gotten my PC after 3 years of using my old gen console, and I decided that it was time for a switch up. I knew that I would hit a very low skill cap on controller as of how hard it is to improve and become the best on a controller. So I decided to switch to keyboard. And this was the start of an insane journey for me. Now this was me on keyboard after only 2 to 3 weeks of consistency. And this is me now after 3 years of consistency. And I'm going to go over the very basics on how you can start your own journey from either switching from controller to keyboard, or if you're just starting Fortnite on a keyboard. Now for those who are switching from controller to keyboard, the first step you need to complete is to take your controller and throw it out the window. No, I'm joking. But for real, you need to take your controller and set it aside somewhere, as the key to switching from controller to keyboard is avoiding the temptation to go back to controller no matter how hard and tricky it gets when you're first starting keyboard. Now let's start the video. Okay, so the first real step is to make sure that your settings are optimized to how you like. Now feel free to copy my settings that I'm showing you right now, but if you don't like the keybinds and sensitivity I'm using, obviously feel free to try out your own settings or other people's settings and find what's best for you. And by the way, I'm using 800 DPI on my mouse. But if you want a quick recap of my settings, like my edit binds and stuff, I use F to edit and I use scroll wheel reset to reset my builds. I use 800 DPI as I said previously, and my X and Y is 5.7 for both. So now that you got your settings down, it's time to start with a few tips. And for the first one, you need to be using edit on release turned on. Now you most likely use this setting turned off as the default setting, and it allows for cool peaks and edits like this, while also being able to move around while in the edit, helping you be able to align your shots before actually editing. But the thing with this is that it takes much longer to learn, and it takes even longer to start editing fast using this. But edit on release, on the other hand, is a setting which you can turn on, and it essentially just makes a edit confirm when you lift your finger off the edit key, making it much faster to edit, as you can see. Now the downside to this is that you cannot do the cool right hand peaks while looking around or anything, or trying to align your shots before editing, as it will just select another tile, leading you to mess up your edit. But it's not that big of a deal, as many pros do use this feature turned on, and it's definitely a high recommendation, especially if you're just starting keyboard. Okay, to now start practice your building and your editing, you want to go into this map called Raiders Mechanics Training V4. It's by Raider, and he has a whole bunch of cool maps. You can go check out his maps. It's not like sponsored or anything, I'm just saying he has really cool maps, and this map right here has literally like everything you need to start getting better at keyboard. And even when you are good at keyboard, this will still help you. So as you can see, this map has a billion different options, and you can first go into this free build option, and as you can see to the left of you, there's going to be a whole bunch of different speeds you can select, and you can start by going onto like a 0.6 or 0.8, and you can start free building and messing around with your building and edits just like this. So the first thing you can start doing is something called SWIFO cones, which is essentially just placing a ramp, turning to the right or left of you, placing 4 walls, and then a cone above you. And this is how it will look in just full speed. So the next thing you can start doing is go to 0.8 speed and just start doing some Mongo classics just like this. And this is basically a 3-in-1 combo, as it will help you improve your edit timing, your crosshair placement, and just getting used to your edit keybinds. So once you finish messing around with a whole bunch of different building mechanics, you can now start doing some 90s, as 90s are fundamental to just being a better player, as it's one of the most useful mechanics you can learn. You can now start to do spider 90s, where it's basically placing a floor and a ramp and just climbing up it. And this is also a great way to implement sprinting, just like I'm doing right now, as if you watch any pro player, they will take any chance they have to use their sprinting ability, as it's a way to just move around faster and do different things faster. So guys, the next thing you can go into to help practice your edits is one of these edit sections, and then you can choose either if you want it to be static or moving, and the moving one just a little bit harder, so if you want to start with static you can, but the moving one is also really fun and very helpful. And as you can see, it gives you a little red like symbol, and you just have to basically follow those edits, and you do it a few times and it will reset and give you a different type of edit you can do. And obviously there's other static ones you can do just like this, but it's whatever you guys prefer, and the more practice you do, the better you will get. Another thing you can do to help practice your building is going into this tunneling option, and you can just follow where it tells you to go and just keep placing walls, floors, and cones everywhere so that you guys get used to your edit keybinds and you get used to how the building mechanic works. So that's everything I'm going to cover over the mechanic side, and you guys can go in this map and mess with any other mechanic trainings you guys want. But guys, I do have like a million different mechanic training videos and different videos that will help you just improve. And if you want to go watch those videos, you guys can. I'd greatly appreciate it if you do. And if any of those videos, including this video, is any helpful to you guys, I'd greatly appreciate it if you could like and even drop me a sub, because I'm on my way to 10,000 and any support from you guys is greatly appreciated. Okay, so enough of the self-promoting, and now let's go on to the aim part. So for your aim, this map has a billion different things to accommodate you for that, and you can go through all of them and test out which ones are most helpful for you. As you can see, I'm just going through a few of them, and they're all just for different things. Like for example, this one is more likely if someone's gliding in the air and you're trying to look at them. And then there's this one, which is just tagging people from far away. And then there's also some things for shotguns, as you can see. So yeah guys, that's it for today's video, and if you guys found it helpful at all, I'd greatly appreciate it again if you could like and subscribe. And if you guys want to go check out those other videos, feel free to. And also, if you'd like to support me further, please use code MELLOW in the Fortnite item shop, and I will catch you guys in the next one.